Look, this is my previous channel's view graph, and right here is the last video I've posted to YouTube that hasn't reached 100,000 views. 2 weeks later, I posted this video, now almost at 1 million views. But it wasn't a lucky accident. Even my first videos on a brand new channel got tens of thousands of views in just a few weeks. So how did I go from making videos getting just a few hundred views to making videos getting hundreds of thousands of views in only 2 weeks? Well, what do you think? What's the difference between these two videos? Here's a hint. A secret seed is a special code that changes how the game normally works. This lets people play with a brand new experience. This video pours over everything to say for one secret seed, and this one offers to find the craziest seeds. So how many people do you think are interested in just one feature of the game? How many do you think are interested in the craziest, most bizarre, most difficult things that the game offers? This right here is what I like to call a popular area of interest. Likewise, this is an unpopular area of interest. So here's the deal. I would need to make well over 1,000 videos for that unpopular area of interest to be able to match the views I got with one video in the popular area of interest. So I really can't put into words how worth it was to spend these 5 days researching and brainstorming. I know it sounds like a while, but hitting the bullseye of a popular area of interest is extremely difficult. However, my process is yet to fail me, so I'm going to share it with you today. In part 1, we'll find the popular area of interest of your audience. In part 2, I'll walk you through getting so creative that you get more video ideas than you could possibly make videos on. And then in part 3, we'll go over my checklist that identifies which ideas are worth making. Part 1, finding what your audience wants to see. It's a simple process. We'll create a list of the videos that your audience has shown the most interest in, and then look for patterns which reveal what sorts of things your audience is looking for. I'll be using this tool called Vilio to automate this, but I'll show you how to do it manually as well. First, let's find the videos YouTube says your current audience is watching. In the YouTube Studio, go to Analytics and then Audience. If you scroll down a bit, you'll see these two panels: the videos your audience watches and the channels they watch. Now I'm going to link the channels and also the ones here uploading the videos into Vilio, which will automatically find all the videos. But if you're following along manually, then don't worry. You don't need to find every single video. We only need each channel's top 15 or so most viewed videos in your list. Anyway, now we have a list of the videos your current audience is watching, but I'm guessing your current audience is kind of small, so we want to get your potential audience as well. Start by considering any other channels you know of that your audience might like. And you can also just open up some of the videos in your list and add any relevant channels that appear in the suggested column. Now spend at least an hour building up this list, because the best results come when you have pretty much every video your target audience watches in one place. Obviously there's not a single viewer who's watched all of these, or hopefully not, but most of the top viewed videos have been watched by a decent chunk of your target audience. Therefore, these videos reveal your audience's criteria for a great video idea. Sort the videos out by most viewed and look for patterns. First, note down any reoccurring topics you find here. But let's go deeper than just topics. Let's find out exactly why they've shown the most interest in these videos. You can see my audience loves learning the strategies behind how the best creators are growing. The top 12 videos are exactly that, so I know that's a great format to explore with future ideas. And there's actually way too many of these case study videos here, so I'm going to temporarily hide the channels making them. Now, almost all of the other videos are either suggesting some method to quickly get results, or it's about how to improve your video editing. So I'll make a note to brainstorm ideas in that direction. And there's a whole lot more to study with this as well. What pain points, goals, and subjects get the most views? Does a positive or negative approach work better? What words seem to demand attention? What concepts do they enjoy the most? For example, on my gaming channel, I found the concept of playing the game with a twist on it had the most interest. Chaotic looking thumbnails got a lot of attention too. Videos based on questions did great as well. I know it sounds like I'm just rapid fire listing off all of these, but remember, I spent days researching all of this. You're gonna get stuck at first, and that's okay. Just remember how crazy a good video idea is. On screen right now is all the stuff that you need to study. I recommend writing it all down to make it kind of a research checklist, because in just a moment we're going to need all of this stuff for our brainstorming. So part 2, or step 2, I don't know, getting a ton of ideas. So there's 2 strategies that I've been doing to get my ideas. The strategy that's given me the most views is what gave me the idea for this video on my gaming channel, and these 2 title ideas on the education channel. But actually, most of my ideas come from this first strategy, just being more creative. Let me explain. Even a brand new idea is always made from stuff that came before it. No one 3,000 years ago could have been creative enough to invent the printing press. We'd only just started making paper. But once all the components were around, it just took someone who knew a lot about them to be able to combine them. So just as Gutenberg knew all the components of his invention very well, we must know the components of possible video ideas very well. Those components are the concepts your audience loves, the subjects they're interested in, their pain points, wants, and needs. Research everything possibly related to each of these. Go down every rabbit hole and search for new stuff that hasn't been seen before. Fundamentally, your ideas are simply unique combinations of different information. So the more knowledge you have and the more diverse the knowledge is, the more unique ideas you get. Now I'm going to give you some homework. This is what I've been doing to be more creative, and you should do it too. Get a notebook to write down all your research notes in. Then every single day, quickly review your notes. Therefore, you'll remember all this stuff and find yourself thinking about it throughout the day. We haven't actually gotten to the brainstorming yet, but still, at this point, if you spend some time during the day without any distractions and just let your mind wander freely, you'll start to get a few ideas. But we want a lot of ideas, and we want them now, so what's the best way to brainstorm? Well, first of all, you can't force yourself to be creative, you have to let yourself be creative. So don't sit down and try to think about what you've researched, just let the thoughts come to you. And science shows being half asleep is the sweet spot for creativity. So genuinely, the best thing you can do is as follows. Set an alarm for a little bit earlier in the morning than usual, then when you wake up, hit snooze and spend like 2 minutes skimming through your notes. Then go back to sleep, and each time the alarm goes off, hit snooze again. Alright, the second strategy is to use concepts that other channels got a lot of views doing, but then change the subject matter to what your audience is interested in. Now, a lot of people make a big mistake with this strategy, so I need you to pay close attention. So the idea of it is that you look for inspiration outside your niche so that you can do something that your audience hasn't seen 100 times before. And then you'll find videos that got way more views than the average views of the channel that uploaded it. This will be called an outlier video with an outlier score based on its performance. The mistake people make is when they find an outlier video, they assume the concept is guaranteed to work for their audience too. It isn't. Take this example. I make videos for YouTubers looking for how to improve their videos. So I need a video idea, and I just found these 4 outlier videos. Which concept should I use? Blank explained, blank stereotypes, 21 blank lessons for blank, or how to get so blank you blank. Obviously one of these last 2 is the right pick, but why? This stereotypes concept is entertaining, this explained concept is interesting, but my audience only cares about content that helps them improve their YouTube videos, and only these 2 concepts are actually helpful. But alright, let's start the process. Now, I used to do this with vidIQ's free Chrome extension because you can go on YouTube and see the outlier score next to each video. But that was a lot of scrolling, and there was that issue with the incompatible concepts. So recently I've been using Vileo because you can pretty much completely rule out that incompatible concept problem, and it's also much faster. So first, find the phrases that your target audience is interested in. Do you remember how in part 1 we found the types of things your audience watches the most? For me, it was quickly get results, or it's about how to improve your video editing. Using ChatGPT, let's find some phrases that match those desires. This is the prompt that I've been using, and you can see the results are exactly the concepts my audience loves. Now on Vileo, search each of these, and then set the filters to only show videos with high views and outlier scores. Next, take each good concept you see and save it to a video ideas folder. But before you save it, I like to add a note with how you might use the concept. Then also select the specific parts of the concept that you like. Now, I also have been saving the channels to a list because look at this. I can open up a list of videos from specifically channels making education content to help people reach their goals. Although the goals and subjects are different, the concepts working for them will work for me too. Here, I can sort by outlier score and then see the best concepts that my type of audience likes. So like, you're my audience, so you tell me, would you click on this? How to increase retention, evidence-based editing tips, or get the perfect thumbnail with this simple hack. Now, I've only shown you a couple of the ways that Vileo helps you get video ideas. If you want to see some more ways it can help you out, then I put a link in the description. It's $25 a month, and if you use my code, then you get access to an hour-long video I made just for my viewers. I'll break down how the algorithm works and what you actually need to do to get views on YouTube. Part 3, or step 3, I don't know, checklist. The last thing here is the most important, but this first one is actually the thing that rules out most of my ideas. And it's easy too. Is to get a fresh perspective on your video idea. You see, the past year I've had this channel, I've written down every single idea I've got. Now these ideas, at the time of writing them, I thought I was a genius. But after a couple days, how many of them do you think I still felt so good about? Half of them? A third of them? Nah, less than a quarter of them I still felt good about. Now the next test is to make sure that no one's beat you to it with this idea, because if your audience has already seen the exact same thing before, they can't help but assume you have nothing new to offer. So copy your would-be title into the YouTube search along with a few variations, and then check if the video has been made or not. If it has, then don't worry. Most videos have a click-through rate under 10%, so there's plenty of new people to watch a video on that specific thing. If you can just make an improvement on the title or thumbnail or put a twist on the idea, then you're good. The third and second to last test is to make certain the idea is the best option you have. You see, if you make a video on just any good idea you get, you'll waste your time. Love him or hate him, Mr. Beast was right when he said,
most YouTubers watching this, you could pull triple the views with half the work if you just had better ideas.
So instead of planning to make 5 videos with a 1 or 2x outlier score, take the extra time on your ideation phase to find those ideas that give you at least a 5 to 10x outlier score. Raise the bar for what you consider a good idea. If you take only the top 10% of your ideas from this process, you'll be sure to get your breakthrough in no time. Time for the next test, which is to subscribe to the channel. No, I'm kidding. It's actually the last test is to first make the title and thumbnail before you get to work on anything else. If you were sat face to face with your viewer, telling them why to watch, what would you say? Review their interests, their goals, and pain points. Make sure that there's a solid connection between your audience's motivations to watch content and the value that this video would provide. Your title and thumbnail have the job of making this connection clear. That is, making it clear that your video offers exactly what your audience was looking for when they decided to open YouTube. If you can't find a way to make that connection, the idea won't work. Now, making that connection can be really hard, so check out this video here on making a title and thumbnail.